Hello there and welcome back to my channel. This is What If Deku Was Betrayed, Part 1. Now this is the series I've been working on for one day. I was really excited to post this, so let's go. Now I'm gonna switch some few things. Now, Deku is dating Uraraka and he has a sister. Let's begin. Now we see a boy, a green-haired boy, crying on a bench with rain pouring. He said, "Why? Why does this always have to happen to me? Why?" He starts screaming, "Why?" Let's flashback about uh, 15 hours, no, about 7 hours. It was 9, no, it was 10 a.m. The Deku was in this after the no, this after the USJ, and they made dorms. Now, Deku was going to Uraka's dorm because he bought her a gift for their 2-year anniversary. Now, when he came in front of her door, he heard moaning, and then he heard, I'm not gonna do moaning sounds. He heard, "Bakugo, go deeper." Oh no, I hate this already. Anyways, he he slightly opened the door to see Bakugo on top of Uraraka. That's all I'm gonna say. And the rest, you need to know yourself. Anyways, and then he got mad and he used the one for all users. Uh, he's a recognition of someone that you see on screen. It's pretty obvious by now. It's pretty obvious. Anyways, he used one for all about 50%. He doesn't have full counting, but the one for all users are letting him use 50% without breaking his bones. And then he started beating the living fuck out of Bakugo. First he punched him out of the window. Then when they landed, he started breaking his face, punching everywhere in his body. Then Kirishima was outside talking to his mother about the dorms, about how his day has went, and then he saw Deku fighting someone, and then he went out inside and told everyone that Deku is fighting someone. And then when they looked closely, it was Bakugo, and when they looked up, they saw Uraraka covered with sheets, and then they saw Bakugo naked, and they placed pieces together to know that Uraraka cheated on Deku. And then Eraserhead, Aizawa and All Might arrived. Aizawa uh, deactivated Izuku's quirk, and then the All Might knocked him out. When he woke up, he was in Principal Nezu's office, and then he saw All Might and Nezu there. And then All Might asked him, "Why did you, Midoriya, why did you do that?" And then Deku remembered what happened, and then he started explaining everything that happened. And then All Might says, "That's still not a reason to beat someone up that badly. I'm sorry, Midoriya. You don't deserve my quirk." And let's say, like everyone does, All Might can take back the quirk. When he took it back, he plucked out her hair and ate it and took it back. And then when Deku was going leaving UA, he saw in the alleyway All Might talking to Izumi and talking about One for All, and he wants to give it to her. And then Izuku was broken. He was firstly broken by Uraraka cheating on him, and then he's broken by All Might taking back his work, and then he's more broken that All Might gave it to his sister. And then when let's say that Deku has a stepdad. When Deku got back, he saw his mom crying. And let's say Inko looks like how she looks when Izuku was 4 years old, because I hate fat Inko. He saw her crying, and then he went up to her and started hugging her and said, "What's wrong?" And then she said, "Why, Izuku, why?" And then his stepdad uh, walked in the room and said, "You filthy bastard! How dare you instruct in my house?" And then Deku says, "What? Drugs? What are you talking about?" And then let's call him let's call him Mike. Then Mike showed him a bag of drugs. I'm not gonna say any type. I'm just gonna say drugs. And then they said, "That's not mine." And then Mike said, "Get out of my house, you filth! You don't deserve even looking at this house. Now out!" And then they grabbed his stuff and left. And then let's say he has a job, and he he went to his job for his daily. Let's say he's a waiter for his daily shift. He and let's say there was a banana on the floor, and he slipped, and he had a lot of plates and drinks, and he slipped and poured it all over a rich man. And then the rich man threatened to close the shop if Deku wasn't fired. And then Deku was fired, and he was even more broken. And he then went to a park and to a bench, and it started raining, and he started crying. And now we are where we are. Then Deku suddenly knocked out. And then when he woke up, he saw he was in a white void. And when he saw a man in front of him who was very muscular with a purple jacket and purple skin with red eyes. If you know, it's hit. And then Deku got scared and said, who are you?" And then Hit said, "I am the assassin Hit, and you are my reincarnation." And Izuku started the reincarnation. And then Hit said, "Yes, you are my reincarnation. Now I'm gonna train you. For you is 10 years, but in the real world, sorry, in the real world, it's let's say the sports festival is about 4 months, and before Izuku left UA, Nezu told him that he's kicked out, and then Deku proposed to him if he gets first place in the sports festival, he will he will stay, and Nezu accepted for some dumb reason. And then Hit said, "For you, it's gonna for in the real world, it's gonna be 4 months, and your body will change a lot." Now we skip 10 years with Izuku. Now Izuku looks like this. He looks like this, but with black hair and red eyes, and he has a job. And this job, as we all know, he's an assassin. And no, let's say he in the real world is 3 months. Then Deku got a changed and was looking like this, but with black hair and red eyes. And this is where his sister looks like. Then when Deku woke up 3 months later, he wasn't in the bench. The hit teleported him to a forest. When he woke up, he found himself looking like that. And let's say that UA is a college. He wasn't this muscular. He was less muscular. Now he looks like this. And then he went into a shop and he saved up some money. He went to a shop and then bought his outfit and he wore it. And then he created a website where you would put the name of the person you want to be assassin and his face. and then a lot of one person tried it and it worked, and then he shared it to a lot of people, and Deku's what's it called assassination job got he got a lot of money. He bought a house, big ass house. I don't know what the ship should be. I think I have an idea what the ship should be. Yeah, I think it's good. Let's say, and he's also a vigilante, but he wears a mask. He no, he wears. You know, wait. Scratch. He's not a vigilante. Uh, let's get 2 weeks. Let's say Deku was walking in this outfit uh, outside, and he was walking, and people know the assassin hit, but they don't know his face. They only know that he has red eyes. That's the only thing they know. Let's say Deku was walking around, and then he saw a woman with blonde hair and horns, and she can grow her size and shrink herself, uh, fighting someone with a strength quirk. And he was about to kill her, but then Deku's time skipped in front of him and then punched him, sending him to a wall. And then he looked back at it's not a lady. I don't know her name. I don't. I need to search her name. Wait. I need to search her name. I found it out. Her name is Yu Takiyama, if I'm not correct. If I'm correct, I'm going to call her Yu. Okay. Then Deku said, "Are you okay?" And then she looked at him, and she saw this buff physique, and she started blushing, said, and started stuttering, and said, yeah. And then the villain came back and tried to punch at Deku, but Deku just did that air punch that he does, and he didn't do it to his heart because he doesn't want to kill in front of people. He did it to his leg, shattering his leg. And then police arrived, and then police arrived and asked Deku if he used his quirk without a license, and then Mouse Lady said he only used it for self-defense, and I gave him permission. And then the police let him go, and then he started walking away. But before he could walk away, she grabbed him. She grabbed his hand and turned him around and said, "Thank you." And let's say she was dating Kamuru Wood, and he cheated on her. Yeah, and she stopped trusting men as much. And then she said, "Thank you." And then Izuku said, "You're welcome." And then he started walking away again. And she said, "Wait, what's your name?" And then he turned around and said, "My name is Izuku Midori." And then he disappeared. Now, they skipped another 2 weeks. It was the sports festival. And then everybody, and then they were in the class. And then someone, buff looking, red, black haired, with black haired young man with a buff physique and red eyes came in. I'm gonna switch out Hagakure for Izumi. Came in, and let's say everybody was in class, including Aizawa. And then Aizawa asked him, "Who are you?" And then Deku answered him with, "Wow, Aizawa, you don't even know your own student. How pathetic." And then Aizawa looked at his class and saw that with Izuku's seat was missing, and then his eyes opened wide. That to the realization, and then Izuku started walking to his seat. And let's say his sister bullied him like just like Bakugo, and she's no, No, let's say Uraraka cheated on Deku with Ida, and Izumi is dating Bakugo. That's more like it. Okay, and then Izuku sat on his seat and then uh, Kirishima said, "Whoa, that's Beetle Bro's seat. Get up." If and then Izuku said, "If it's my seat, Kirishima, then you should probably sit down with a bloodlust." And then everybody realized that was Izuku. And then Aizawa said, wear your gym uniforms and go outside. And then everybody was then Izuku disappeared, and everybody was confused. And then Izuku had already wore his PE clothes, and he was already in the bus. He was in the back, far back seat. And then everybody, after about 45 minutes, everybody arrived. You see Deku already in the bus, looking out the window, looking in his phone. And let's see, he got Mount Lady's number. No, she got his number, not he got her, because she's the one who asked for a number. And then nobody wanted to sit next to him, because they were all scared of the bloodlust that was released by him. And then they arrived at the UA Sports Center Stadium, and then Midnight called everybody out, and then I think Mount Lady was patrolling the stadium, and she was seen in the and then she was seen in the big screen outside, and then she saw Deku walking out with Class 1A, and then she was blushing. Okay, now the UA one first year representative is still Bakugo, and then the race, and then I spun the wheel. It's still race. Then everybody lined up, and everybody started running. But the only one who didn't run was Deku, because he stayed behind. And then Bakugo looked back and said, "Huh, he already gave up." And after Todoroki, he was the first place. After uh what's his name? He got to the canyon. Then when everybody uh then they saw a purple blur running past everyone, and then they heard President Mike say, "And the winner is Zuko Midoriya." And then everybody was confused for two reasons. Confused because most people didn't know that was Izuku, and let's say Inko and Mike were there. No, not Mike. Mike is President Mike. Let's say Michael were there, and they couldn't believe that that was Izuku. And the second reason why they were all confused because Izuku just won. And then the cavalry battle starts. Nobody wanted to team with Deku because they heard that his quirk they heard that his quirk malfunctioned and it stopped working, and they thought that was just pure luck, pure uh, just a little bit of his quirk that helped him win the race. And then nobody wanted to join him, and then he went up to Midnight and asked her if he can be alone, and she started blushing and said, Yes, you can." And then Deku said, "Thanks." And then everybody, when the carry battle started, everybody charged at Deku. Uh, and then everyone who charged at Deku, their headbands were gone. The people who stayed behind, their headbands were also gone. And then they saw Deku on the other side of the arena with all headbands. and, and they were following him for the whole 30 minutes of the test, not test, exercise, no, event. Yeah, that's the right word. And then Deku felt bad and he won some competition. So he gave the headbands to the people who passed in canon. And then timer uh, stopped and Deku was first place. Second place was Bakugo, Team Bakugo, which was Bakugo, Izumi, uh, Sero, and Kirishima. And Team Todoroki, which consisted of Todoroki, Momo, Ida, and Uraraka. And Team Shinso, which consisted of Shinso and some lame ass dude. No, which consisted of Shinso, Kendo. No, not Kendo. Shinso, Tetsu. The people who pass, I don't care. Anyways, and this is gonna end up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Tell me if you enjoyed this series. I will see you next time. Peace.